Welcome to the Couch Co-op Podcast, where we bring you the latest and greatest in video game news, reviews, and discussions. Grab your controllers, settle into your favorite gaming couch, and get ready to level up your gaming knowledge with our lively and entertaining discussions. Whether you're a hardcore gamer or just love to play games with your friends and family, we've got you covered. From the latest blockbuster titles to classic retro games, we've got our fingers on the pulse of the gaming world. So grab a snack, pour yourself a cold beverage, and get ready to power up with the Couch Co-op Podcast. It's time to press start and join the game. Couch Co-op! Couch Co-op! Couch Co-op!
Somebody's been working on the script for this.
Yeah, someone put some effort in there.
Yeah,
We're not used to this.
Thought-provoking.
Oh yeah, I wanted to switch it up. I mean, Ian's shtick is good and all, and for the people who are looking at the video right now, you've noticed that it's just a 5-pack
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah,
There may be some pop-ins here and there, but for now it's just a 5-pack.
Yeah, Ian may be
substitute
joining
host
us
again.
later. So we have Jared, Nick, me, Dave, JPK with his awesome
Aaron.
intro, and Aaron, who may have to
guys.
drop out a little
wild card.
little later, but has something
Yeah.
special for us.
Yes, I do.
So to kick things off, we're gonna start with Aaron's Mobile Minute.
Aaron's
So-
Mobile Minute.
Who's got the timer?
And
I'll get the
And
timer
who-
pulled up. Right.
and John, you've got the
Yeah.
questions, right?
Oh, I've got the questions. I got the revised questions, so these are the speedrun questions.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so I
Go.
will say
Count us
go when
down,
I hit
Jared.
the button. Go.
Point.
Single or multiplayer?
Single player.
Name?
Mr. Autofire.
Genre?
Action.
Advertising or word of mouth?
Word of mouth.
Like music?
Yes.
Like the graphics?
Yes.
Controller compatible?
No.
Time played?
A couple hours.
Keep playing?
Yes.
Recommend?
Oh yeah.
Who would you recommend it to?
Everybody.
Have a story?
No.
Like the story?
No.
Developer?
Lightheart games.
Available on console?
No.
Cost?
What?
Cost? How much does the game cost?
Free.
Microtransactions?
Yes.
Do you like the microtransactions?
No.
That's
Time's
18
up.
questions. That's 18
Dang.
questions. We did it, Aaron. Holy shit, we did it.
Okay.
That was
So,
awesome.
Man,
What I didn't catch was the title,
Mr. Autofire.
Mr. Autofire. Okay, so another like.
Yeah, this was the one Jason
or
recommended to you, wasn't
vampire.
it? Last
Yes,
week or
okay.
the week before. It was
Yes, that was
developed
the-
by a friend of his, I believe. And
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about it, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting, and I think it's actually better than Doom because yes, the Mighty Doom game's good, but it has its problems. But I feel like this one's kind of like because you can do it's landscape mode, so you can just actually see everything you're doing versus Doom. You have a giant thumb in front of your way the entire time. It's kind of annoying, but I feel like it's basically Doom but better. I could see playing a few more so. It's
Yeah,
fun,
yeah, because
actually.
I've been playing Mighty Doom, and it seems progression is extra slow and not
Yeah.
very rewarding.
Yeah, it's
So
not, but it's still fun,
I
though.
put a lot of time into it, and I feel like I haven't accomplished much.
No, you die a lot.
Yeah, and yeah,
nice. Just the way you
okay,
like it.
I'll download that one.
So do you
It's
play as
worth
a
a try.
auto
a
fire.
space marine, or what's I know you say it doesn't really have much of a story, but like, what's the character you're playing as?
So you actually have a variety of characters, but you start off as kind of like a rainbow type guy.
Oh,
He's like shirtless and like camel pants and the headband and you
Like
just
Rambo.
yeah, it's pretty
Rambo.
much like that.
Okay.
Or yeah, but you get different characters. You get like this fire demon person. You can get like a Mr. Freeze look-alike, but instead of being icy, it's like he's a poison cloud in his tank.
That's cool.
And there's other characters you can get too. It's pretty fun actually. It's a good little time killer,
Nice.
but I like it. It's actually a lot of fun for a mobile game. They're doing good with mobile games lately. Yeah.
Yeah. You
are they
just,
still updating the game? Because I think Jason said the game came out. Did it come out a while ago, or did it come out recently?
I don't know actually. I think it feels like it came out recently because I haven't had any updates of the game just yet, but we'll see. That's mobile games / any nowadays games. You don't know when the update's coming. When it comes, it comes.
Is this the only game the developer has done too?
I don't know actually. Jason know a little bit more about the
They
developer.
also
this
have a
guy,
game
so-
called Sword Game.
nice name.
Yeah,
like
Sword
it.
Game with currently 10,000 plus downloads.
Oh,
it's
that's a
in
lot.
Wow,
development.
that's pretty good.
It's not out yet. Really, it's
Oh.
in development still.
Get in the
So
beta,
it's
Aaron.
their next one.
But it has 10,000 downloads, even though it's in beta. That's impressive.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's early access for Sword Game from Lightheart Entertainment.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I can get in on it.
Cool.
So-
yeah, I'll install it.
We'll
I'll
quickly
give
go
'em a
through
chance.
a round robin of what you've been playing. So
Okay.
starting with you, Jared.
I haven't been playing much of anything. I've mostly been spending my time at softball field with my daughter. I haven't
Nice.
had
No
a
more
day off
broken
since
windows.
Tuesday. No more.
Yet.
But I've been there every day since Tuesday, and I'm pretty tired. But today, actually earlier this week, I started Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time,
Nice.
and it's Crash Bandicoot, whether you like it or not.
You
but
didn't
it's-
start Lake.
No,
At
it's
least it treated
it's
itself.
free next month. It's free in May on Amazon Prime Games. That's a game that Nick recommended for me many episodes in the past, and it's been on my favorites, or not favorites, but wish list on my PlayStation to go on a really good sale, but it has not. But
Ooh.
it's gonna be free on Amazon Prime Gaming in May.
Well, there you go.
So I'm going to download it and play it.
How does the
And
Amazon?
don't forget, it takes.
Go ahead, Nick. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't forget, it takes place in the '80s because there will be absolutely no reference to the fact that it takes place in the '80s. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So,
That's
how does
fine.
Amazon Prime
small
Gaming
criticism.
work?
Well, you just go to prime.gaming.com, something like that. Just look for, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, there's a whole bunch of free PC games you get every month and every week, and bunches of different DLC for whatever game that you might have. Tons of free to play stuff. I'm still getting free stuff for Destiny 2. I'm getting free
Nice.
stuff for Warframe. There's tons and tons of games they have on there, just like free like resources and stuff like that. So if you're playing like a free to play game, there's a good chance Amazon Prime Gaming has like something for you.
Yeah, some bonus packs.
It's worth looking at. They have their own PC app, which is, kind of a garbage portal to their website. It's they haven't put a bunch of thought into it. Like if you scroll all the way to the bottom, that's like the only place you see, hey, play this free on Luna with Amazon Prime for free. Yeah, if you have a subscription. And that's like you never
Free.
see a reference to Amazon Luna except for like when you scroll all the way to the bottom of that page. It's funny.
So dumb.
See,
Yeah,
Dave, you can
yeah.
play Destiny 2. It's free. It may be free on Amazon Prime.
It's-
or
Well,
parts of
it's
it.
free on
I thought
PlayStation.
Destiny 2 was
Anyways.
like free to play
It's free on
anyway.
PS4.
Yeah, it's free.
But it's
everywhere.
even freer on Amazon.
I actually
Yeah.
did play all the way through Destiny 2, or at least the base game.
Wow.
a while,
Nice.
like quite a while ago, because it was
Yeah, it's been a while.
it was free on PlayStation Plus like
Yes.
a couple of years back
A
now.
couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right. What you been playing, Nick?
I've God of War Ragnarok. I
Nice.
trying to finish it in time for whenever we decide to do the episode review of it.
Right.
Foreshadowing everybody.
yeah, I'll have forgotten about that game by the time you finish.
Yeah, I
it.
know.
Yeah, I know.
I'll have to do a bunch of research.
I'll have to
before
replay
I
it or something.
Do that,
Yeah.
man.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
Dude,
Well,
New
they have a
Game
new
Plus.
Game Plus mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say to make me feel like I'm taking too long?
No.
Hey,
I mean,
don't feel
who
bad,
knows if we
dude.
would have even done that by now? Anyways, you know, we're so organized here at the Couch Co-op.
Yep.
Hey, that's how we roll.
Someone's got to press
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
How far did you get so far, Nick? I mean, you're probably farther than me, but
I think I'm on like my third. Like I was just playing it, like about an hour ago, and I'm like the third part where I take control of Atreus and I'm hanging out with Odin.
Oh,
you're
okay.
hanging with
Okay.
Odin. Okay, you're
Oh,
definitely
you're
I
almost
like
there.
those segments.
You're almost there.
Uh,
All right. What about you, Dave?
Man, this week was a busy week for me. I beat Sniper
dang, dude.
Ghost Warrior Contracts 2.
Okay, cool.
Which I
That's
really
nice.
enjoyed, which was more of the same. And, you know, I wouldn't say it was the most original game, but it was pretty good. And then I went to the library on Tuesday and I got Spider-Man Miles Morales out. And
Nice.
I just beat
Okay.
I
Oh, look.
just beat that
The
today.
milkman has appeared.
Yeah, there's a
Okay,
milkman.
It's
beat Miles
1-800
Morales.
What up, boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
What up,
Howdy,
1-800
also.
Flowers?
Keep going.
Yeah, so I
One
play-
eight hundred Budweiser.
Mm.
I think I'd have been
Oh,
a bit
goodness.
disappointed in Miles Morales if I'd have paid $60-$70 for that game. But I actually really enjoyed that it only took me 6, maybe 7 hours to beat the game.
Good
Like-
thing it was
Yeah.
only $49.99 at launch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
I put it on easy and busted through it. and
there's a
loved
lot
it.
of like side quests. I mean, it's one of those games like the original, getting the platinum. Like a lot of the story quests are actually just introducing you to the kind of side quests and the collectibles and stuff. But I thought the story was really well done, and I really enjoyed the combat, the mix of like combat and stealth and the power ups. So I really enjoyed that game. If you haven't played it, it's definitely worth a look. And I managed to get it from the local library, so it didn't cost me a cent
Oh,
to
great.
play
Nice.
it. And it's one of those
I
games
always
that had
forget
been
you
on
can
my
do that.
list because I really enjoyed the first Spider-Man. I think the first Spider-Man's definitely more bang for your buck, you know, and it's probably a
Right.
cheaper game now. But I mean, Miles Morales it looked beautiful. There were some areas that really showed off the ray tracing, and because I had it turned down to like the 30 frames a second, you know, make it look really pretty as opposed to the total performance.
Right.
So, but yeah,
Awesome.
so
Yeah.
those are the 2 games I've really played this week, which is 2 more than I've usually played in a week.
I feel you on that one.
Oh, and I did play a bit of Cyberpunk as well.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I
Cyberpunk
still have to jump back into that.
2077. I think I'm up to
Yeah,
like
same.
I just finished the first act of the like 3 main acts, and it was actually quite. I won't spoil the story, but it was actually kind of moving. The how it turned out at the end. It was like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. So, I'm gonna probably dive back into that here in the next week or 2. Because that's
All right.
the main game on my list that I haven't played.
Okay, great.
Aaron, do you have more to add to your mobile minute?
I actually do have a game I wanted to play. Talk about. Like Nick. I've been playing God of War Ragnarok.
Nice.
I switched it to easy mode because, well, I feel like I didn't need to because I did an optional boss battle with the Hateful, which are
Yeah, they
Fucking
can be
ass.
rough.
they're assholes. Fuck them. So I switched over to easy mode. I thought that was part of the main mission, but it turns out it wasn't. So whatever. But I still like playing on easy mode now. I just beat Nidhogg, which
Yeah,
would've-
that
I feel
battle's
like he
fun.
would've- I would have felt like he would have been hard. if if I left it on regular mode. But no, I just beat him. Thank God I had Freya to help me out a little bit there. But it's a good game. So I really dig it. It's I haven't played too much more other than Mr. Autofire and God of War Ragnarok. It's been like Dave busy. And this hasn't been, as you guys know, what happened earlier. So it's definitely been a lot more busy.
Yep, there's
But,
life
yeah,
and
I
then
think-
there's video games.
Yeah, no kidding.
Life gets in the way pretty often.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Video
mean,
games are life.
Mm.
the life of video games. Some people.
So I've been still playing KCD. I'm almost done with it. Well, I beat the main story, and now I'm just doing the DLC because they're taking it off PlayStation Plus in May. I'm at kind of at the point now that the game has lost some of its allure. I still think it's a great game, but once you kind of reach a certain point in your level progression, the combat isn't as challenging, and there's like a sweet spot when once your character reaches a level high enough that you're competent in battle, but that the game is interesting and fun to play. But beforehand, you're just getting your ass beat, and then once you get
Remind
too
me
tough,
what game this is.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Okay, like
Ah.
KCD. Okay, what?
Yeah,
what?
sorry.
Come on, where
Wow,
are
you're
you
just-
learning this?
I've
You're
been on the
too cool
subreddit
for
too
school.
much.
Where you
I,
been,
I
Jared?
know
Where you
he's
been?
way cooler than
Okay,
at least me.
You play with
I-
randos. That's random.
I couldn't figure it out either, so you're not
Yeah.
alone.
No, I've been. That was my
I'm
fault.
not
I've been
hip with
on
the
this subreddit
KCD
too much.
crowd.
But yeah, I'd still recommend the game. It's fun to play. And then I've been playing a little bit of Rage 2 here and there, which I like.
Play Rage.
Rage 2 is great.
It's
I
way
haven't
better
played
than
it.
the first one.
It looked
It's way
neat,
better.
Yeah.
It's way better. It's
It-
so much more fun than the first one. Oh my god.
I
Um,
haven't had any desire to play Rage 1, so
It's
Is
by the
that
guys that
in
made
Game
Mad.
Pass right now?
It's the guys that made Mad Max.
Yeah, Avalanche Studios.
Yeah.
Are you playing that
Right.
on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Well, it's on PlayStation Plus, but I think it may
okay.
be on Game Pass as well.
Yeah. There's so many games on Game Pass I want to play. I just
Yeah.
haven't even.
Oh,
turned
and
on
I
my
I also
Xbox.
have a physical copy if someone wants a physical
Yeah.
I also
Rage 2?
re-downloaded Guardians of the Galaxy because I want to play that again on
Oh,
PlayStation.
Yeah,
But
that
I
was
want to
good.
back to my father-in-law.
do the collectibles, so I have to sit down with a laptop and look at.
Oh
where these
yeah, have the
collectibles at
guide
again.
open.
Yeah,
Well, you don't
Yeah,
just
I-
use your phone for that kind of stuff. You pull out
I mean,
a big old
laptop,
laptop to
phone.
sit next to you.
Whatever.
Yeah. What's the
Uh,
difference, right?
Word processor.
Ah, man, I wish I would have. I need to get that game back from my father-in-law. I don't know if he even plays it or not anymore.
Get it from
Such
the
a good
library.
Yeah,
Well,
He
here's the
owns
thing.
it.
I have a
I own
disc
it. It's my
copy as well.
I'm letting my father-in-law play because he was like, "Oh, I want to play it." I'm like, "Okay, here you go," and I haven't seen it since.
And the third movie comes out here soon, doesn't it?
Next week.
Guardians of the
Yep.
Galaxy Volume 3.
Next
I'm
Friday.
excited.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go watch it.
Yeah,
I'm excited too.
I'll wait for Disney Plus.
Mhm.
Same. I need. Speaking of which, Ant-Man and the Wasp that's coming soon for that too.
Oh,
Hey
yeah.
Jared, you're on Fuzz Vega's Plex account, aren't you? Server?
I haven't checked recently, but last couple of times I can't log into yours or his, so I'm not sure if the
His was
computers
off.
were
I've
just
turned
down.
mine off. His is back up
Okay.
though. His has been
Oh,
off for a while, but it's
okay.
back up, and he has Ant-Man and Wasp on there.
Okay,
So-
cool.
Okay.
I'll have to check
Nice.
that out.
Ian,
What?
what about you?
What have
first of
you
all,
been playing?
First of all, I want to thank Dave for recording and my son taking over on the hosting abilities. Super awesome. I was late tonight. I was busy.
Man,
Just
wait
wait
till you
hear
hear
his
his
new
intro.
intro.
I did the whole. I can't wait. I did the whole journey. I did a journey around the Oregon.
The Oregon Trail.
The Oregon. No, just the Oregon. Like it could be a sexual Oregon. It could be the state of Oregon. Who knows? But I did a journey. I saw.
Both in his case.
I saw Nick and I saw Dave today, and
Yeah.
saw
He's
many
been to
other
the best
people.
parts of Oregon.
And,
Did you take the truck?
Yeah, well, yeah. Brendan and I, we were delivering with Maverick, so it was a family outing. We just delivered.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I got some beer. I got a few beers from Nick over here. Thank you, Nick.
Nice.
And so I just wanted to say thanks for holding down the fort. Thanks for last week when I couldn't be on the show, or I just wasn't up for it.
Maverick was
But,
happy to see me as usual.
yeah,
Gave me a
always,
good bark.
always.
Bark.
Always.
Bark.
What have I been
Every
playing? Well, I've still been playing Meet Your Maker. I think I'm up to like 70 hours in that game, both. So that's combined. That's PS5 and PS4. I think I'm kind of pretty much done with it. I need to hook up with like Jared or Dave or somebody to like get me those co-op trophies so I can platinum it. But for the most part, I'll probably check in here and there. But I think I'm kind of done with that game. I spent a lot of time, had a lot of fun with it. And then Dave hung out in my game last night. That was my second playthrough, but I've started playing Mass Effect 2, which I won't talk about a lot because once I'm done with that, Dave and I will do our.
How many hours did you end up
episode
on Mass Effect 2?
So I think last night it ended around like 6.5.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of one of
that's
those
where I'm
games
at.
where you don't ask where you are. It's just how many hours, because you can do the missions pretty much in any order if you're
I'm
doing
spending a lot
of
more time.
the side quests.
There's some early missions I had never done before, and so
Yeah, there were
this
a
might
few
be a
I found,
longer
but-
this might be a longer playthrough than my previous playthroughs, but that's what I've been
Wow.
playing. I'm having a good time.
Now, would you consider the companion quest for Mass Effect 2 part of the story missions because
Essential.
the ending is
Essential.
pivotal?
Essential.
Yeah, they
Essential.
have
Yeah.
to be.
Because they
Yeah.
really,
Oh,
it
yeah.
really affects the end as to whether who
Mhm.
survives and who dies and all the rest of it.
They have to
Whether
have
Yeah.
you've
that
done
trust
the
in you.
side quests
Yeah.
for each
Plus,
one.
then it also the loyalty then also unlocks other abilities for those characters.
Yep.
It makes there's just a lot of stuff tied into that, which I think is better. I don't want to get too much into this, but yes,
Yeah.
essential.
Well, everybody knows that Mass Effect 2, so
I
yeah.
did notice that Aaron was playing Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
played a little
man.
bit of that, yeah. I played
The first one?
The first one?
Had you
Yeah.
played the first one before?
Mhm. I have. I've done all 4 of the games. I've beat every single one of them.
You should jump
Such a
on the
fun-
second one, Aaron, and try and beat it with me, and then you can hop on with the podcast with Dave and I.
Yeah, I already know what happens at the end of the first one, so it wouldn't be.
Yeah, but it's all about replaying it again. It's
Oh, I
just
know,
it's a masterpiece
eyes.
theater episode. Fresh.
Oh,
I will say this. That game is, when you like playing so many games we've currently played, that game stands like head and shoulders above so many games in just its
agree.
storytelling. Like
Mhm.
there
Yeah.
hasn't been many games really since. I don't want to get too far into that,
Yeah.
but tease
I agree.
like it's just like the onboarding is so quick, the story is so. It's just like
And it's a complete complex world.
Happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I'm replaying this. Like these are like movies you rewatch because they're so good. Mass Effect 2 needs to be replayed. Like
I agree.
I would replay it.
And you've played it 3-4 times already, so have I.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
It's
Played it
such a
twice.
great game. Yeah.
I'm a little let down that Jason isn't on tonight. I was hoping he didn't say anything he wouldn't be, but like he's been playing Jedi Survivor, and with all the
I
negative
heard.
comments about that. But like when they gave us Jedi Fallen Order for free, and I went back into it, it's like I don't want to play the sequel to this fucking game. That's like that's
Yeah.
cool that people are enjoying it and they're Star Wars fans, but like there's nothing there's nothing about this game I really want to go back and revisit. Like,
Yeah, I got an
really-
hour
just-
or two into it, and then I was like, nope, that's going off my system.
I just don't need it. I don't need
That's
it again.
fair.
So I mean, it's cool if people want to play it. I'm not trying to badmouth it. I'm sure Jason was having a good time, but I just like, do I really want to? I think I'd rather play Mass Effect, knowing what happens in Mass Effect 2, even though I know it. I'd rather replay that game.
Well,
Anyway.
it's such a good story. I mean, the Mass Effect 2 has the best story I've ever seen in a game since the release of God of War for PS4 when that came out. But yeah, no, I totally understand. It's like, new games that came out, or this game that's a masterpiece.
We'll skip the first one if you've already played the first one. Get through the second one, Aaron, and be on the show with us, David.
All
and I.
right.
It'll
So
probably be in a month.
we can table this for the Mass
know.
Effect 2 future review
100%.
featuring
Snap it to a
Milkman
Slim
and
Jim.
Dr. Dar with a possible
to-
Aaron drop-in.
This is my
But now-
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh,
I
ooh,
see
yeah.
Nick waiting in the wings for Lord Beerstro's beer battle check-in, because what's gaming without a cold brew in hand? Take it away, Nick.
what?
Wait,
Yeah,
can I say
well-
one thing about the beer battle? I wasn't. I wasn't up. I wasn't up. Like I enjoyed the first episode. I wasn't sure that Nick was going to go back with bringing back the champion, or if he was just going to do new beers. So I'm glad to see that he's bringing back the champion to fight the next beer.
Yeah,
I
we'll go
applaud
through some Jeopardy rules, but we don't.
Is
have
he
to
gonna
ask
create a
in the form
god
of
beer?
question.
God beer.
No.
God mode. It
But you
defeats 10 of
probably
the
didn't
beers.
notice that I had a little bit of a technical difficulty when I opened this, and the fact that it decided to spray all over the place.
Sweet.
It's just,
What was it?
Yeah.
it was a fatality.
well,
is what it was.
Yeah, well, it was last week's winner. It was the out-of-date Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Oh man.
I like
out
out
of
of date.
So
Well,
how
it
did
plays
this
into the
over
thing.
here? You can see it for a while.
Yeah, well, it plays into it here in just a second. Yes, October 31st. Oh, Halloween from 2021. If anybody remembers that.
That's a ways out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so gonna pour a little less than.
What was the first beer? Just because I wasn't here.
Same.
What do you mean?
Oh, is this
It
the
was
first beer?
omission.
Then
Yeah,
omission.
Yeah,
No,
it
no,
was
no,
no.
Is this
Ranger
the first beer of
versus
the night?
Emission.
No,
this
that
is
was
the
last
first beer of
week.
the night.
This is the
Oh,
first
you
one
didn't.
of the night.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. I see. John's taking a
Yeah.
different route to this. I see.
We
Oh,
did
yeah, just wait till you hear the
Aaron's Mobile
intro.
Minute first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, Aaron.
He may need to bail at any
Oh,
moment.
I see. Oh, wise John. Way to produce.
Well,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, so the only maybe I'll talk about it later.
Wait,
but-
Nick, where are you going?
Yeah.
Where's the second?
It's so
what's
good,
the
I gotta
second
leave.
beer?
Yeah.
I got
No, sorry. Like I was just.
Clean up on
Uh,
aisle 3.
Yes, thank you, Jared.
And then pukes off screen.
Yeah,
We
he
know
made
which
a
beer won
mess
there.
all over his office. Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my
Well,
God.
while we're waiting
That's
for
funny.
Nick, Ian, originally, because I came up with another topic based on
Oh.
AI. You can still do your topic tonight, but the other AI topic, I was just going to cover AI in video games because it's.
That's the whole
uh,
topic. That's the topic. That's literally the topic.
You're wanting
No.
to do AI as it's
No.
learning in a learning
No, no.
capacity.
No,
and-
no,
but
no,
I'm
no, no,
thinking
no.
AI in terms
like
of
it to me.
game
No,
behavior.
it was just AI in general in development of video games, and then
Okay.
whether that's the end of art.
No, JPK is talking what they used to term AI, which is like the computer opponents and the way they
Yeah.
played against you.
NPCs.
You know, like
Oh.
computer, the program,
That's
like
that's
Pac-Man
John.
with
Okay,
the
so
the
Jason
ghosts,
wanted to talk about
if
the
that makes
development
sense.
of AI in development of video games.
Yeah,
Yeah, which
So,
is
like-
another thing where
like
they
AI taking
use
over the
AI
world,
to-
basically.
So I thought Jason was
Right.
going to be on this episode because he was so hot to talk about this. Because his friend who makes video game, what is the studio? What is that did Returnal?
Oh, Returnal? Housemark.
Housemark in Finland or whatever his friend is. They wanted to, or whatever the other friend he has making video games. They're working on some AI shit, and he was like, "Oh, in 2 weeks, yeah, I'll totally want to talk about this topic." So it was going to be a very Jason centric topic. So I thought it'd be okay if I was gone because Jason would just fucking talk all the time. But he's
You
not
were
here.
wrong, Ian.
Well, we don't have to talk about this topic tonight. I don't know.
No, that's why I came up with the backup. So it's still in the vein of AI, but it's just done in terms
It's
of how
old school AI. It's
old
like
scale AI. In
yeah,
video
it's like
games versus...
it's the ghosts in Pac-Man,
right.
for want of a better description. It's like, you know,
I don't care. It's
there's
John's
no
show.
intelligence that. Well,
John's
Okay,
hosting. He
Nick.
can do whatever the fuck he wants.
You're back. What's the second beer you're going to be going head to head with the Voodoo Ranger out of date?
Well, this too was also from 2021. I mean, this is a little one-sided.
oh, these
I'll
are the
admit.
COVID beers.
No, this is Lagunitas, easy for me to say.
A Waldo?
The Waldo special triple IPA from 2021. So I'm kind of doing an outdated / 2021 release type of thing.
It seems
That's
like
what-
one-sided to me, though.
That one might have got
That's
better
what I just
though. It's
said.
that strong. How strong? How
triple
strong is
IPA,
Waldo's?
Easy.
This little guy is 11.7%.
Holy fuck!
Nice, man.
Nick's
There
not
you
waking
go.
up tomorrow.
Ding 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 ding.
No, Nick
It'll
is
work
gonna
tomorrow.
fall asleep during the show.
Mama said
so
knock you out.
No, Waldo said knock you out.
Where's
Yeah.
Waldo?
There he is.
He
the
was there
bar.
for a moment, but the alcohol got to him.
Yeah.
He going tonight.
All right.
And the winner is.
Well, he hasn't drank it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have to have time to. I mean, this isn't a chugging
Come on, John.
contest.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll move
So
on to the
we
main
start-
topic
we will
at
come
hand.
If you look at the rundown, John, you look at the bottom, then it says conclusion of the at the end.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is the
It needs time to
introduction.
marinate. I get
Well,
ya. I
here was
getcha.
the thing. Here's the thing. Like, even though you did Aaron's mobile minute at the beginning, it's also you introduced the beers at the beginning. Then midway through the show, you could kind of check in with him, and then at the end, he would give his. So it's like a three-parter. It's a
Oh, wow.
three-part segment.
Yeah,
There's a
you're
lot.
sober at the
Very important to the
beginning.
show.
You see me a little faded, and then at the end,
But I didn't want to like
I'm out.
John.
whatever.
Yeah.
Now I understand. There's a lot more parts than I was expecting from this segment.
Did you not check the
Mm.
You didn't check out the rundown, did you?
I looked at the rundown.
Quickly.
I didn't know that's how the rundown was being broken down.
You didn't see it? It says it.
No, I saw it, but I thought it was like, why is it kind of redundant?
Dave, did
He,
you?
he let the AI rewrite his
Do you know
script.
what a rundown is, Jim Halpert?
You know, whoa. John, did you have AI write the fucking opening?
Of course, I use
Did you chat GPT?
Oh,
my
that's
God.
why it's so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
voice too.
Chat
Hello,
JPK.
bunch co-opers.
Yeah, with the still image.
Yeah,
Milkman
that's why all
deepfake.
of our episodes have been getting hit more, is because JPK was doing research, so AI could
Yeah.
repeat your
Dude.
voice.
238. Then two something, then 100 and something, and then today was like kind of a lowly like 64. It's just like, but we got like a
Wow.
massive bump. All the AIs.
Which, any episodes in particular? You said it was older episodes.
This is all. Well, I think it's all episodes.
Only
Nice.
ones with Aaron's mobile minute.
Well,
I'm
half
sure.
half the episodes. I mean, but
Yeah, like I said.
I don't think it has
Yeah,
anything to
lots
do
of
with
big
Aaron's.
fans.
I don't think it has nothing to do with Aaron's mobile minute. But
No, not me. In fact, here you go. Oh,
Yes.
fuck this beer.
So getting to the topic at hand. So what I picked some games that kind of stood out to me in terms of their AI. And then we'll kind of go do a roundtable of any games in particular that stuck out to you in terms of AI, in terms of whether it's NPC interaction, enemy interaction, or even how the game changes based on your actions. So a game changing based on your actions, an example of that would be Left 4 Dead with the director AI. That would depend on how well you were doing or how poor you were doing. It could potentially change the layout of the game, because that's what Left 4 Dead 2 kind of did more of. It changed the layout of the game.
Exactly what it did.
But mostly it was based on enemy placement and item placement. Or in terms of enemy difficulty, fear is a classic example of how the AI would really work together to try and eliminate the player, whether it was flanking, responding to your movement, communicating where your movement was going, et cetera, or even recently with something like Shadow of Mordor with the Nemesis system, where you can create your own unique story within a story, where if an enemy orc defeats you, they get stronger, or even if you defeat them, they can come back, and you kind of create your own dynamic story with an orc in mind. So, Jared, what are some games that AI stuck out to you where you thought this is a step up, this is more than just Pac-Man ghosts chasing me?
I think the one that stands out the most, there's some stories that popped around back in Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion.
Is that the one with Jean-Luc Picard?
This I don't know.
isn't that Oblivion?
but-
Yeah, because Skyrim's
yeah,
5.
Oblivion.
Yeah, so Oblivion.
But the people kept on coming out with stories like, oh, this character, he's built so he goes and eats this food or whatever, and eventually he runs out of food, and the next food is the person next to him. So the person next to him would disappear. Nobody knew why until they followed him around and saw that he was eating them. He needed food. So like their AI will depict like their path based on parameters that are given to them, and then just kind of do a makeshift move in the game just to alter their path because that's what they knew. Hey, this thing has meat in it. I'm going to consume the meat. And it's just so wild. Like that's some of the like bigger, that's one of the bigger ones that just sticks out in my head is some of that old Elder Scrolls stuff is really interesting.
I like the Elder Scrolls choice just because like when you've played Oblivion not so much, but Skyrim a lot like I have, you know, you kind of know the rote kind of like character stories and AI pathings that the game does. But through the modding thing, they've made the AI smarter for certain things. So like and they've done it with the Oblivion too. So like then all the characters start doing other things. You start like they go out and have relationships, or you put a sex mod, they'll go out and have sex. They'll get turned on. Like the AI will start doing more things depending on the mod, and because of how easy it is to mod the Elder Scrolls games, it allows for the tuning of the AI, which is super interesting and fun to me. So it's a great choice, Jared.
Thanks.
All right, Nick, what about you?
I'm just thinking about where AI has kind of frustrated me, and this is when
A lot of times.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I'm
Sometimes.
He's
sitting here trying
frustrated
to,
right now.
yes, like when I was first starting to play a Rocket League with bots, and it almost felt like I was doing kind of like a 5 to 6 to 7-on-1, because a lot of times the way the AI was kind of constructed, they didn't know how to go around the ball to stop the ball from actually going into the goal. So in essence, they were
Right.
basically chasing the ball and pushing it into the goal, and when we were on defense, and so therefore they were kind of scoring for the other team. And that was kind of like a major frustration, not to mention the fact that
Are you
there was
sure
a
you
lot
weren't
of
playing with Aaron? Oh,
Hey, I seem
no,
to
you
I seem to
Okay.
remember. Hey, wait. Let's,
I'm joking.
maybe that's when you're playing with the AI by yourself. But I seem to remember on those 3 versus 2 AI games where it was me and let's say Dave and AI. The AI scored a shit ton and played really well. So I think you guys just played shitty. I mean,
maybe you just got really lucky, because like
I don't know.
even playing with other people though, it's almost like a bit of a hindrance, because there's a lot of same team type stuff. Like you go for the ball, and AI is kind of there too to kind of knock it away.
Maybe the
And
AI factors how good his teammates are. So like when Dave and I are in a team together, it's like, oh, this team's
Yeah.
really good, so I got to play
It
better
scales.
than them. And then it just destroys, you and Ryan and Jared.
clearly that's probably what it is. But and maybe it's just the AI sees like, oh, well, this guy's kind of this guy's not going to be a long-term player, so maybe we'll just sit here and fuck with him. But
Right.
yeah, that's just kind of what it feels like the AI in that game does sometimes. It just, like, if you're playing against all bots, it just kind of fucks with you a little bit.
The AI likes to harass you, Nick. I get it.
Basically, it's just,
It definitely plays like Aaron sometimes.
well, I'm not.
This is not.
Hey, Aaron and I
You guys
could
can sit here and
kick
slam
off
on Aaron all you
sometimes.
I think it
want. I've
stands
never.
for Aaron Interactive. Like he has the copyright on that. He's getting like checks in the mail.
What, checks of how much I owe? Yeah, sure, that's what they get me.
So is that what the A in AI stands for?
Oh my god! Did you just miss that joke, Nick? Oh,
Yes, I guess so.
It's all good.
It's
Cool.
it's the Beerstro competition. It's starting to set in.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is halftime right now.
Halftime.
It is. He just finished the
Well, I'm
first
busy
beer.
trying not to slam on Aaron like the rest of you are. But
Switch sides. What?
Well,
Aaron's
we don't get to hang
Yeah.
out with Aaron
Dude,
enough, so we got
What are
to
you
tear
talking
him down
about?
as
I
much
feel
as
like
we
the
can,
last
right?
time we actually played in person, like Aaron at my house,
It's been
like,
a while.
Aaron and I destroyed
Aaron was
everybody.
killing it. Yeah.
Aaron
Speaking
and
of
I
switching,
are either the best 2 players at Rocket
Not-
League,
that's-
or the
That-
worst
That's
too.
not this.
There's never like
Yeah.
any. There's
The best
never any
worst.
like
Yeah.
gray there.
It's exactly. It's a night thing. It's like they're either on or they're like just off.
Yeah, either we're fighting against
The
each other
problem
and
with
doing
Dave-
it terrible, but
The problem with Dave being off is that he just doesn't do anything, and the problem with Aaron being off is that he'll score on you, or like he'll score he'll score into your own goal. That's like
Yep.
the two. That's the difference.
Exactly. Duh.
All holes are a goal, right,
Yeah.
Aaron?
any hole's a goal.
See, can't say no.
Anyway,
Dave, what kind of AI inspired games stick out for you?
I was trying to think about this, and I think like I was thinking about AI just in general, like enemy AI in general, and it's kind of a fine line. It needs to be clever, but it doesn't. If it's too clever, it's almost like it's cheating, and it becomes like annoying. Like I found that with God of War Ragnarok. I just found that some of the enemies were just cheap, and like cheap hits, and I just didn't like the. I didn't like the balance, and I didn't like the AI, but whereas like when I played when I was playing Miles Morales recently, it was just that game, either the difficult and it obviously AI and difficulty kind of play together as well, but I feel like the AI in Miles Morales was a lot better. Same in the sniper game I was playing. Like the people were intelligent, but not like so intelligent that they kept on getting the better of you. So I thought like
Well, I think there's a difference between being cheap and being clever. Like I totally understand where you're coming from. Where a game, it's not so much the AI is smart. It's just the game is just being cheap with the enemy difficulty.
True, but if the AI is too far ahead of like the player, it can it's like then it becomes not cheap, but it just doesn't become fun, if you know what I mean.
Shooters with AI become frustrating because their accuracy goes way sky high. So you step out anywhere behind cover and they're shooting at you and you're dead immediately. It's like there's no point. And that kind of AI is just garbage, where it's just accuracy bonuses pretty much.
Yeah, because whereas difficulty usually resolves around like to make the game more difficult, they just put more bad guys in there, or they make them do more damage per hit. But the actual underlying AI is generally the same, if that makes sense. They kind of have the same strategy, and it can be as simple as like, take 2 steps towards the target, take 1 step left, or whatever and it's kind of, and really AI is the wrong term because it's the kind of semblance of intelligence. It's not really intelligent. It's like kind of,
it's taught to respond to specific situations.
Or it has a strategy. It's scripted to respond.
It's kind of like a computer playing chess. If you make this move, then the computer has a predetermined
until we
list.
get to my choice. But yeah.
So I must admit, there's none. I like it.
What about XCOM?
I like that game, and I think the AI, the enemy kind of strategy is pretty good on that one, and there are times it's pretty well balanced. But that game again has the original has like a difficulty curve that kind of goes into a cliff at one point in the game if you haven't researched the right kind of stuff. And so because they suddenly should start showing up with these plasma weapons. I want to say it's plasma weapons, but they start showing up with plasma weapons and armor, and you've got no armor and no plasma weapons if you didn't develop everything in the right order at the right time, and it just becomes a very hard game. But I do think that they do a pretty good job. Even in the original XCOM, they did a reasonable job. The original XCOM had some problems though, because sometimes you get one alien on a map and it would basically just retreat away from you as you took your turn. So it would take quite a long while to actually kill the one last alien. So in that case, it was like, yes, that AI makes sense that some aliens are going to be kind of all up in your face, and then other ones are going to kind of stand back and take cheap shots and kind of play more defensively, but that's a case where the AI doesn't necessarily, you know, when there's a group of them, it works really well because you've got your like attack and then you've got your kind of like fallback people, but when you just have one, the AI kind of fails a little because it you know, it does what it's meant to do, but it's kind of the complexity coming out of simple rules essentially. So, but those are, I think that I think of the games I've played recently, like God of War is an example I thought of. Like I didn't like the fighting system, and the AI didn't help it. It just wasn't fun.
It was very old school and pattern based.
Yeah,
whereas
like Miles Morales is kind of a very similar game in like to God of War in a lot of ways, because there's a lot, you've got like a laundry list of moves that your character can do, kind of beat 'em up style.
But the combat's more dynamic.
But the combat just flows, it's more dynamic, but the guys aren't, they never come across as like super cheap.
I feel like it can get just as tiresome though.
True, but it's a 6-hour game versus 20 hours as well. Maybe that's why it doesn't become as tiresome. Maybe. You know, so.
And then comes the rocket launcher guys.
Yeah. And then I did.
Oh, you just throw the rockets back at him, Jared. What the fuck, dude?
I did play.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but it's unnecessary, really.
You had problems with the rocket launcher, guys?
I no, because
First
I had it
was
on
Mary
easy.
Jane, and now it's the rocket launchers.
I had it on easy, so it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, but they were never a problem.
There doesn't need to be a rocket launcher guy in every game.
There's rocket launcher guys in Mass Effect 2.
Here's the hard version of the guy.
You know what's cool about the rocket launchers guys in Mass Effect 2? You can just shoot the rockets.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, the other game I was thinking about was Alien Isolation. I played that a little bit, and that was an interesting case study, because it's like obviously you got like one alien chasing you, and it would just show up in places and scare the living shit out of you, and then you'd run away and lose it for a bit, and then it would kind of find you again. I didn't play too much of that game. I didn't actually particularly enjoy the game, but you know, it definitely seemed like it had something going on with the way the alien behaved, and it was very true to kind of how you would imagine the aliens behave watching the movies. So
yeah, from what I've read about Alien Isolation, if you kept hiding in the same spot over and over again, it would just look for that spot first thing. So you were constantly having to evolve your play style, so that way you would keep the AI alien guessing of where to look.
Yeah, I remember you couldn't stay in one like area or one place for too long, because it would find, you know, if you were in the same place the whole time, it would kind of begin to zone in on you pretty quickly. But
yeah,
that game was really scary. For some reason, it just put me on edge, and I didn't enjoy playing it.
No.
Aaron, what about you?
All right, I got to keep my pie a little quick because I think I heard her waking up. But my actually the game that gets me the most actually is Left 4 Dead, and it's what JPK was talking about earlier, how the whole like map changes. I like that because it was like if you did really good for a little bit, it would change it up so it's a little more difficult for you. And so like, okay, keep going. So you didn't have to change the difficulty settings. I think you could change the difficulty setting, but you could leave it alone in that game and be completely fine. But it was a fun little game to play, and I really enjoyed that whole dynamic because it was nice. I mean, in a sense, it kind of held your hand, I felt like, but it also didn't, especially if you're doing really good. It's like, okay, fine, you're going to do good. Kitty gloves are coming off. You're going to get more difficulty. Here and there.
Guess what? Here's the tank.
Yeah, here's one of each of the special enemies.
Exactly, but I kind of like that challenge because it was kind of, it made it fun because there is a point where you're like, okay, this is too easy, this is boring.
Yeah.
But then it also made it so it's like, okay, this is too hard. I don't want to play this game anymore. It did a really good tightrope there, and I will say that
little. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Finish what you're saying. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it kind of helped with replayability, especially when you're playing with like a bunch of friends, because
Oh, totally.
like the tank that I mentioned, because it's such an epic encounter that it has its own theme music that
Mm-hmm.
like
Oh yeah.
you may almost get a tank like within like the first 5 minutes of playing, or you don't see him until like you're almost to the safe house. I mean, it
Right.
just all depends, and that's what really.
Yeah.
I mean, I love playing both Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
I love
I
them
mean,
both.
I probably would have picked it too. It was like kind of like I was kind of weighing between Rocket League and that game, and I'm glad you picked it,
Right.
Aaron, because
Yeah.
for all the things you're
I
saying, and I'm not trying to take it over, so I'll leave it
Oh
back to
no,
you.
you're fine, dude. I love that game. The other game I was gonna pick, but I kind of was like I did not like it was any like the Doom Eternal game. Like the stupid.
Hmm.
Well, I didn't like it because okay, it'd be like easy, 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 and then all of a
Spike.
sudden it
Yeah,
like,
that
Yeah,
game had
big
some
time.
real cliffs where you'd hit
Balance was
you'd
bad.
hit a boss, and it was just the boss was just off the charts difficult compared to everything you'd encountered before. Or actually, I remember that game would the boss would require a new mechanic that you hadn't
mm-hmm,
encountered. Like the game would train you to do certain things to defeat certain types of enemies, and then you came up against this boss that did
mm-hmm.
something totally different that had nothing to do with any of the like attack or bits that the enemies had had shown you previously.
Yeah, it's like when you ran to the gladiator guy that has like the wolves that come out of its
Oh yeah,
shield or the
yeah.
shotgun. I'm like, what the fuck? Why can't you introduce this as like a normal thing instead of it being like a mini boss where I can't kill you pretty much?
And
Like what
then
the
here's
fuck?
2 of them,
Oh
along
yeah,
with all these other hard enemies.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
by the way, they're impossible to kill half the time. Like, god damn it.
Yeah.
I I had never had to rely on a multiple death situation where I died so many times I got Centurion armor and be on the easiest mode possible to actually beat the thing my entire life until that game came along. It's like, oh, come on. But no, those
Yeah.
are the two most AI situations I've ever like.
And to be quite honest, I think that spoiled that game for me. Like it,
Mm-hmm.
it was just I was really enjoying it up until that point, and then I hit that boss, and it was just like, ugh, this
The
is
Marauder is what
yeah,
he
the
was called. Yeah.
Marauder.
Marauders.
Thank you.
After
Yeah.
that point,
Like,
it
I
was
can
just
remember his
like, oh,
name.
I'm just going to finish this game because I've got this far, and
Right. I still need to beat that game. I still need to get the
There has
devil
to be a
sword.
question here, though. We've talked about difficulty in the past, but difficulty versus AI. Like,
yeah,
how much is it just bullet sponge really versus what the AI is actually doing?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
feel that Doom's difficulty settings have to do with damage and volume.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
Versus
Of
what the
course.
character's actually doing. Like,
yeah.
I
know
mean,
what you're
maybe
saying.
they are a little more aggressive. I mean, the aggression level can change on the enemies where they're in your face more and attacking more often, that kind of thing. So that is related to the type of AI that we're talking about.
because like in
It's-
Destiny, it's just they just become bullet sponges, or like in Division, they like the AI doesn't really change; it just becomes a
Yeah.
bullet sponge,
yeah.
Well, so the one thing I do notice that most shooter games do that Doom actually does, like, so okay, I found out I remember in a Call of Duty, all the other games like that, like you could hide forever from your enemy and they would never come anywhere near you. Doom, on the other hand, did something different where they actually make them chase you around the corner, like, oh, I'm gonna hide, and all of a sudden that same guy you were hiding from just pops out from somewhere else and actually gets at you. It's like, okay, I wasn't expecting to come at me. I was expecting you
Well,
to be like,
Yeah.
what a lot of shooters started doing if you hit in a corner too long is throw, like, every enemy would throw like 8 grenades at you at a time, and it's stupid. You're
True.
staying in one place. Grenades everywhere, and you have to run for your life and get shot
True.
in a half a second.
That's true. I didn't think about that, but
Yeah,
no, I just know
yeah.
it's like a lot of them, like a lot of them until up until now. It's like you could hide in a corner
Mhm.
forever and be like, this is fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Doom kind of is like, okay, we're gonna send guys after you. fuck you. You're not gonna sit there forever. You're gonna have to
They know
fight
you're
us or
there.
die.
You camping
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah. Well,
that's kind of.
yeah.
Nice,
The stupid AI is
sucks
like,
at the same time.
oh, there's somebody here, and then you hide. Oh,
Where are
nobody's
they?
here.
Huh? What?
Yeah,
Where'd
yeah.
they go?
So moving on, my pick would be Aaron. You're welcome, of course, to stay. But if you need to go, just feel free to just let us know.
Right, I think I hear it going, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of here. But I gotta say my last thing really quickly, the couch co-optional, Aiden, whatever you want to do. I would say I watched the Chris Rock special.
Nice.
Finally,
I watched it too.
such a good one, worth watching. Anybody that likes
interesting.
comics, it's hilarious. I loved it. I liked how his disclaimer, like, try not to offend anybody, but fuck you anyway if you get offended. So
His bit about being in a bad area where you see the women going to work and then you see the men just riding around bikes. I'm working in an area like that. So when he said that, I was just like, oh shit. I've never even thought about it until he said it.
Are you the one going
Right.
to work or the one riding on the bike?
Is this the one that was live on Netflix?
yes,
Yes.
the,
Okay, yeah, I saw this one.
Selective Outrage one.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that one.
This
Worth
is the one that
watching.
addresses all the Will Smith shit.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was awesome. That was awesome.
So JPK,
think
you feel
I-
like you're living
you
in
guys get
San
to it.
Andreas, like
Not that bad, but there definitely are a lot of guys who have a lot of spare time, and you're kind of wondering why do they have so much spare time in the daytime? And they
Right.
conveniently and they don't have vehicles, so it's just
Like
it's
John.
it's a cultural shock.
All right, guys. On a side note, I gotta get
Later,
out of here.
Aaron.
I will see you guys.
Good
Have a
shit.
good night.
peace out.
Good
See
chatting
you.
with
Take
you.
care.
See you
Great
guys.
job on the
Later.
Take care of your
Give
ladies.
give Dave a hug for me on Wednesday.
Will do.
And a kiss for me.
All tongue.
And a push for Jared.
Yeah.
Push.
While you're
Man,
at it.
You
No,
guys are asking a lot.
Jared wants the dock.
Push it real good.
All right, guys.
Later.
Bye, guys.
So for my pick, I did Shadow of Mordor because I played Shadow of Mordor recently, and I also played a little bit. I've beaten
Shadow of
both
War?
games, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, and I prefer after playing Shadow of War or Mordor,
I prefer
replaying it
Mordor.
recently. What?
I prefer Mordor.
Yeah, I do too. Because after I played Shadow of War recently
War's
as well,
convoluted as fuck.
yeah, I would say they do some cool things with the Nemesis system and the siege stuff, but it runs out of gas fairly quickly because
Yeah.
then when that game originally came out, they built it on microtransactions. And now that they've gotten away from I mean, there's not even a marketplace anymore in that game. If you could play that game, Shadow of War now, there's no marketplace.
Right.
And
Darn.
the game suffers in a weird way because it was built around microtransactions. And now that they got rid of the microtransactions, it's like, well, this game is less now because you built it around this whole thing that you've now taken
Yeah.
out, and now the game is lacking.
So they didn't
So-
just add that stuff to it; they just took it out.
Yeah, they just
Huh.
took it out.
Kind of like
And-
what Avengers did with all their microtransactions. They just
They put all that stuff in there for free, though, didn't they?
they took
Yeah, they
everything
did.
out and then they put everything back. Everything that you would have to buy, they just dropped it back in there. But they pulled the whole system out, which is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Which makes the game totally worth it to play right now.
Yeah.
You're saving
course.
hundreds and hundreds of dollars right now by playing that game.
And it only
Um,
costs like $7.99, or it's free on PS Plus Extra.
So with the Nemesis system, it was just kind of interesting because it's unfortunately Warner Brothers games
Trademarks. Come on.
have trademarked the system, but supposedly there's rumors that they're going to put it into the Wonder Woman game. So they're going to start using it, it seems like, in other games, only that they develop or publish, unfortunately. But the Nemesis system is pretty much You have
Well,
captains.
I think it's Monolith Studios is the studio that develops those games. So like it's Warner
But
Brothers
are they?
published, but I think it's Monolith is the
Oh,
studio that
okay.
developed that system. So only they have the right. Warner Brothers doesn't even have the rights to that.
Okay, gotcha.
They just
Thank
own.
you.
They are the umbrella of Monolith.
I just assumed it was Warner Brothers because they were the bigger
No,
corporation.
they're just the publisher of the game.
Gotcha. So with the Nemesis system, pretty much in Shadow of Mordor, you go against captains and then warlords, and the captains are special enemies that have strengths and weaknesses, but they used it to kind of create a small, unique storyline loosely based on your play for that game. So even if you kill the captain, he could become resurrected. And if, let's say, your finishing move with him, you cut off his arm, he would come back with like a hook. And then he would even talk about like, oh, you got my arm last time, but now I'm going to gut you with my hook or something like that. So that they had
Yeah.
all these scripts, a library of scripts that the AI would just pull for a specific captain. And that includes like strength and weaknesses, how the character looks, even their voice. And not all the captains were serious. They would mix in, like, one of them was like a bard, so he would just sing, and his weapon was like a guitar axe, so he would play it and sing it while you were fighting him.
But even if they beat you, he'd come back and you went to fight him again. He's like, I beat you last time. I'll defeat you again. You know, that kind of same shit. So it made the game
And they were
feel
stronger.
like, yeah, and you'd be stronger. It made the game feel really like, oh shit, this is for real.
Yep.
And it was a unique experience for each player, so people could trade, war stories about like, oh, I had this unique captain come after me where I kept dying to the point that he was super powerful, and I was finally able to defeat him and like finally kill my nemesis. Because in my experience, the only time they would truly stay dead is once you chopped off their head. Then they weren't coming back anymore.
There you go.
And then one thing I wanted to touch before we close out the topic and
Where's my
touch
choice?
base with Bistro. Oh, that's right. I forgot about your choice. I'm the host, so I'm just going to cut
It's
Ian
easy
out.
to forget about
yeah.
Ian, isn't it?
I thought you
what-
were saving me for the end because I have all these great things to say about you, John.
Go
But
for it.
now,
Go,
now
go,
that you
go, go.
forgot about me. All right, I'll stick with my original script. It's really thoughtful that you held off on me, John, and I just wanted to point out, like, it's so good that you, like, my original idea was about AI in development, but I think talking about AI in gameplay is actually just as important as a segue into the future of AI in development, because my pick, and I don't think Jared got a chance to experience this because he bought the game more recent. So my pick is Gran Turismo 7 and the only month-long test of AI Sophie. So Polyphony dropped a AI into the game, and it was a thing you could try out for a little while, for like a month, where you played against this actual AI called Sophie, GT Sophie. And so she obviously, I don't know what really was happening, but Sophie was fed all this driving, like Chat GTP, or they feed an AI full of information, and this one was fed driving information. And so when you drive against her, she drives like a real fucking race car driver. And it is fucking difficult.
Yeah.
It's incredible, but then just the amount of people that lost against her in real life. So like all these like directors and race car drivers, and so like this was like an actual AI that had learned and then was placed into a car game as an car AI. Because like if you've played Gran Turismo racing games or any racing game, AI is very rubber bandy. It's like kind of on a set script.
Yeah, they'll run you off the road if you're in their
They'll push
path,
you, or they'll do a thing, or
they just have a path to follow.
You'll pass them, and then they'll be like 20 miles behind you, and then at the end they'll come back, or you'll just, it's like a very kind of, in a racing game just how to beat how to beat racing game AI.
Yeah.
And then this AI
Mario
was
Kart.
like, you are actually racing somebody. Like, it's not a difficulty thing in the sense that, like, it's just like you just know how to. It knows, and it's a very weird experience to race something that feels like you're always kind of racing head to head. Like, because you never really have that racing experience in a race car game. You either like blow past them or they're destroying you for the most part.
Yeah.
To really race head to head with somebody is a very bizarre thing in a racing game, in my opinion, because you don't really get to experience that. So I feel like this is that bridge between the AI as what Dave was calling as a scripted AI,
Yep.
versus becoming something that's fed intelligence to then become something that is constantly thinking, or you think is thinking. It's weird. It's a very weird thing.
It's more
procedurally
It's a
You're racing
generated
Michael Fassbender.
You're racing somebody, and maybe. I mean, it can only be. It can only be like if you're gonna race. Like if you're gonna go into a racing game and race professionally, you're not gonna try and hit cars off and be a dick. You know, you're gonna race, and then you're gonna race. And then you're gonna race a friend that's also gonna do the same thing. That they're not gonna be a dick. It's like that. It's like, and then you both have similar skill sets, and you're just it's more, but then she is ultimately better.
Yeah.
And so you're like, but it's the ultimate. What it does is it really makes you a better like a driver. It's a very weird thing, and I only did it a couple times, and I think Jared didn't get it. I think you got your.
It was
copy
gone
later.
by the time I bought the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember listening to
of
Christian Spicer talk a little bit about.
I think
that
Jared will probably
DLC.
get it. I mean, they'll probably bring her back at some point. I think they're just probably tuning it. But like, if
I hope
that's the
so.
future of race car AI, I mean, that's kind of crazy to me, and that's kind of what is then, you know, as the segue into the next episode when we do the development. Like, that's kind of this thing. Like, it's kind of weird. It's, you know, you feed this computer all this information, not what it should be scripted to do. When a car passes you, you should like back off for like 3 seconds and then rubber band it and come back, and like, no, this is how people race cars, and this is how the car passed you, and you should feel, you know, you should do these. I think it's kind of crazy that they're working on this, and they're still working on it, and they're fine tuning it. And I think maybe she's a little incredibly hard right now. But like, maybe that's what it should be. Maybe it just should be like for hardcore race cars. You know, for people to race. It's just
People
hardcore.
with the whole kit.
Yeah, just hardcore. But like, but you could also see like, well, you take Sophie down a couple notches. She still has that AI, but she's just less difficult. But it's
reacts
interesting
around you differently, because
yeah,
that's
she
always
totally
been one
reacts.
thing I hated about racing games, is that the
just
AI cars don't react when you're driving around them.
They just smack back in or something.
They follow their exact path, and they do not deviate unless you nudge them.
Or you racing with real life people and they're just trying to fucking knock you around. And this AI is actually trying to be a race car. Like, you're in F1. Like, no one, like, she doesn't want to die. You don't want to die. It's a very weird thing. It's a very interesting thing. But she's also very good. And yeah. So,
yeah,
like, that, you know, whatever. But I think it's cool, like, to bring this topic up in like game AI, and then move into the idea of doing like game development AI, because I think this is kind of the bridge of that. So I just want to thank John for like coming up with this idea. And but that's my pick, Gran Turismo 7. Hopefully they bring her back soon, so you know, more people. I would love to see Jared play with Sophie.
Yeah, that'd be great. Though I kind of remember hearing Christian say something about he wasn't able to play that part in VR because it takes so much processing power.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, the AI really is taxing. So I don't know if I heard right or whatever, but I want to test it either way.
All right, John.
Let's finish out with Beerstro and then couch co-optionals.
What beer won?
Yeah.
It's like it's a surprise.
Did you do my song, John? Did you get my song memo?
Your song memo?
No.
Lord Beerstro's battle.
No, I didn't get that.
Sing it, John. Sing it.
Beerstro.
Lord Beerstro's battle.
Can we get a
Oh, no.
remix on that?
It's beer battle.
Yeah, there
Lord
we go.
Beerstro's beer battle. All right.
I want the JPK remix. All right, this isn't going to be a surprise to anybody, but we have a
Waldo
winner.
won.
Waldo for the win. He likes that 11.5%.
Would Waldo
Well,
have won if Voodoo Ranger was not outdated?
I was going to say, weren't they both
But
out of
Waldo
date?
is also outdated
Oh,
Yeah,
by the
Well,
same amount of
well,
time.
all right, never mind then. I
yeah,
suck a
but
dick.
that
one
he is.
age is a little better than the
Please
other.
suck a dick.
But yes, the Waldo with its sweeter, more alcohol-y. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah,
you're loving
this
that.
is gonna be this was very one-sided, and I already knew.
Two
it to
beers
begin with.
enter, one beer leaves.
Out of how many
I'm-
chairs
I'm-
you would sleep in, what would you rate it?
4 chairs,
4 chairs out of what? Out of how many chairs?
one for
5.
each limb.
This
Out
is
of
a
5?
this is a full scale recliner with like back massage type chair.
You have,
Yeah.
So you,
But Nick, you have
no
5
neck
limbs.
support. That's what you're saying.
With
no neck
heat.
support with this one.
With heat.
He looks pretty
But-
relaxed.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Waldo
Again,
moves
I'm
forward.
still playing with this, so the concept, I guess. So
That's Lord
I mean-
Beestro's beer
This
battle.
concept is like AI. We'll just keep learning as we keep doing
just
it.
like, just
I guess.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll still. I mean, I guess I'll still roll with the Jeopardy thing, and keeping with the Jeopardy rules. I think there's going to be a point where.
Keep going, Nick. Go play. Talk over the music.
Right. Anyway, so what I was saying is like maybe I'll stick to a certain beer style, and then maybe I'll move on to another one.
no. You should go with lager against an IPA, 100%.
Well, here's
Yeah,
an
maybe.
idea. Just going back to some original Lord Beerstro stuff is do like a 3 beer trial and then do another 3 beer trial and then mix them.
No, let's not mix them. Let's not do a mix.
So this is becoming Jungle
No, I think
Shoes the
Nick's done mixing
podcast.
stuff.
That's that's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother segment too. By the
That
way,
sounds like a waste of a really good two really good beers.
Jared,
Not
what's your
necessarily.
couch co-optional?
Do you? Oh, okay. There we
I mean,
Well, I don't
Jared's
wanna-
he's not off on the idea. I mean, because like the idea of mixing beers, part of the fun is finding like really bad concoctions and seeing the reaction to it. But
Yeah.
like
the,
as
the
Ian
real
said-
fun out of
no,
it is
no, no,
mixing it and watching Nick puke, but we haven't gotten there yet.
no,
so-
Yeah.
But as Ian pointed out, and I don't know if he made his point publicly or if it was just in a conversation between us, but also finding like a beer blend that actually worked together. And I actually think I have that sitting in my fridge.
Oh,
I just
then
haven't
do that.
gotten to it yet.
Make a video of that. We
Yeah,
don't need,
and-
we don't
and
need it on the show. That's a different thing. That's a
YouTube.com
Well,
slash
well,
the
right.
YouTube
That-
pictures.
that'll-
yeah.
That'll be my own deal. But I think I've got that going on too, like with some previous beers that we've had on
Okay,
here.
I have
and
a real
some-
question. I have a real question. What makes the Waldo
Okay.
better than the Voodoo Ranger? Like, just I mean, I know one's a single and one's a triple, but like, what makes it like? Why is it a better beer, for in your opinion?
Just this one tastes like
Tastes like sweet ass.
yes, the sweet ass. No, it's like the kind of
So kind of like Ian.
yes. I don't know. There's like I like a little bit of a sweeter IPA. And,
Oh man.
Sweeter IPA,
Yeah.
like a voodoo, like
Yeah,
a like
and
a
this-
like a
this
voodoo.
kind of like fits. This kind of fits
Viper-
the bill versus like this one. This one is kind of. I mean, I don't know if it's fair to actually rate it because it is almost 2 years outdated, but it's It's a
I
little
think
bit more bitter.
I think the baseline
I
Voodoo
mean,
Ranger
still-
is the worst beer of the Voodoo Ranger line.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it's not bad. I mean,
It's fine, but I think it's
and even as it sits, it's a fine IPA by itself. I mean, it's not anything that I'm gonna go out and drink, which is probably why I have a case of it that's outdated. But it's
it's so
fine.
good. Don't drink it.
It. I mean, it's got like I mean, it's just basically a typical IPA. It's got
Right.
like the hops. I mean, everything about it. It just screams typical IPA. There's nothing special about it. The Lagunitas Waldo. Maybe there's a little bit too much hype to it, but there is stuff that I like about it, like
I
the
don't think I've ever
sweeter.
had it. I don't think I've ever had it.
It's
I've never bought it. Yeah,
I've had it. It's strong.
it comes out once a year, I think, doesn't it?
yeah, it comes out around this time of year. And I actually have 3 bottles of this year, but Cheap Charlie's, where I actually deliver wine to now, actually had the 2021, so I
Not TNT
grabbed the-
Market.
Sweet.
No,
So
Huh.
closing thoughts on the beer, and then because we're starting to hit our bedtimes here.
We have all the time in the
Yeah.
world. What are you talking about?
yeah. What's your rush? Yeah, where you got to be?
I got a bedtime here.
Listen to you,
Aw.
host,
Yeah.
Mr. Host.
He locks the door at 11 o'clock, and he has to sleep in his
apparently.
office here.
Yeah, has to keep the ghosts out. No, just I mean, any double or triple IPA is just in my mind is generally gonna trump a single IPA. Not necessarily for the alcohol content, but just there always seems to be a kind of like a sweeter component to it that I always like.
Because they drop more
versus-
malts in it to make it not so alcohol-y flavor.
Okay, whatever the reason, but that's just seems to generally be the case. And,
Unlike Dogfish that just says fuck the malts and just make it pure alcohol fire.
hey, whatever. I like Dogfish.
That's the worst
All
shit,
right.
dude. Anyway,
All right, whatever.
Thank
I
you.
know.
That was the Beerstro. Is it like Maestro?
Lord, no, like Destro, Lord Beerstro,
Okay.
beer
And
battle.
it was
Lord
based.
Beerstro.
So it was based on Beerstro, but
Oh, I thought it was Destro, Beerstro.
it was.
I like to,
but
I like to,
it's
I like
like
to envision
Beerstro
you in
sounded
like a
funner.
beer face, like you're like
Yeah.
unlike the metal face, you have a face is like glass but full of beer.
No,
Ooh,
we
that'd
can
be
do that
painful.
too. Whatever.
I'll work on it. I'll put it in Photoshop.
I'm open to ideas.
Go ahead, John.
Jared, what's your couch co-optional? Quick, before they interrupt each other
Yeah.
again.
Well, I don't want to steal Ian, so I'll go
Anyway,
with
so IPAs and
Paramount Plus has released a really shitty teaser for Twisted Metal, the TV series.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. Is it that bad?
It looks bad.
I posted it.
Yeah, I just hadn't got around to watching
It
it.
looks bad. Someone replaced
looks
the
so
music.
bad.
Someone replaced the music with Dragula, and it makes it better. Instead of like, so they do Lens. He uses the song "Lens," the most whitest white person song.
Steal my
Lens-
sunshine.
Steal my sunshine.
Oh my goodness.
It's just like what? Oh, so I think the thing is going for comedy, but it's like, oh boy. Anyway,
whatever.
Yeah.
It gave Samoa
I
Joe
want to
some
watch
to
it though.
do.
I said, fuck it, I'm gonna
Besides
watch it.
wrestling.
Am I not?
Yeah,
I'm not,
I'll
I'm not
watch
not-
it.
I'm
gonna
not
watch
gonna
it.
watch it at this point though.
I grew up with Twisted Metal.
The train wreck that is Twisted Metal.
Nick,
Yeah, so
what's
that-
your couch co-optional?
So just to piggyback on what Jared was saying, so Samoa Joe is actually a bit of a gamer. He's in the Twisted Metal series. He also played Team Fortress Classic way back in the day, and I only know that because reasons. But anyway, as far as my couch co-optional goes, shit.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Trojan condoms.
Yeah, if you're in town, and you're in the east side of Portland, go to
What is it called?
Yes, it is. Well, I want to get the correct name, Sailor's Country Kitchen. And if you're feeling down for it, do the I think it's a 76-ounce steak or 90 or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
it's reminiscent. If
Reminiscent of
I
the
know a lot.
96ers and Great Outdoors.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, baby.
But
I
yeah,
like how we're on the
if,
same wavelength.
yes, if you can get that done, props to you.
You're not done.
But
I still see some.
yeah. Oh, the rest of it's just gristle and fat. But no, it's I mean, I was there last week. I didn't do the challenge just because I did the math in my head and I realized we're looking at like
You wanted to
pounds
live.
yeah, I'm looking at pounds of meat and it's just like yeah, that's not happening.
That's gnarly.
But if you're a better person than me, just go to Sailor's Country Kitchen, do the challenge, post it up on our couch co-op, and you'll be a hero amongst me, I guess.
A hero for me too. Like fuck that shit.
Yeah,
That's a lot
Yeah.
of food.
I mean, I did a porterhouse and I barely finished it.
Oh,
So
damn.
Dave, your couch co-optional is how to take care of a bloody nose.
Yeah.
Ian.
How to have a freaking nosebleed on there. Yeah, I just
Oh,
suddenly
that was
went,
I'm not even paying attention to Dave. I thought Dave was just. I thought Dave was like calling like pitching signs.
no, my
Mm.
couch co-optional is the trailer for The Flash, just because it
Oh, that's
has,
a great
it
trailer.
has the real Batman in it. It's
You know what's
there's
crazy
actually
about that
two
shit?
versions
Oh,
of the
yeah.
trailer. So but
Yeah,
Huh.
there's
Yeah, I
like two
haven't watched it
trailers
yet.
out right now.
yeah,
That actually looks really good.
yes, it actually
And I'm-
does.
And I'm actually
Okay.
surprised Dave is saying anything because Dave hates comic books.
Yeah.
yeah, they got me at Michael Keaton. It looked like it just looked like something different, and I think I'd enjoy it.
It's
So.
supposed to be good. We'll see. I'm gonna say so. Brennan and I just watched. There's two shows. I'll watch the. I'll say the show I actually finished with her. I'm watching that fucking Harrison Ford 1923.
Huh.
We watched it. I'm totally engrossed with it. I really dig it. It's very kind of melodramatic and over the top in some parts, but I love Helen Mirren. I love Harrison Ford, and I'm kind of digging it. And now I have to watch it. Like a lot of shows, I like kind of like just bail on and I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Or I kind of watch like really partially. This is the one show where Bryn is watching it, and I kind of like I was watching, and then I would play video and play watching, and then I stop. This is one I don't know why. I just really like it. So, and I still haven't seen Yellowstone. So like
I was about to ask
I've
if
watched
you
parts
watched
of
any
it.
other
It's really
stuff.
good.
So I'll see it at some point, but like I'm going I'm doing like chronologically how it would go versus how it actually goes. But I actually dig this. I don't really, I'll see.
Good storytelling.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's a little grandiose and over the top, and
Yeah.
it's kind of Hollywood.
That's okay.
Okay.
And it's fine, but no, I kind of dig it. So 1923.
So my couch co-optional to stay in the vein of AI is DJ on Spotify. It's a AI DJ that you can access through. It's apparently it's only available for Spotify mobile. I tried to use it on my laptop and it just wasn't available.
Interesting.
But if you have a mobile device and you have Spotify, just type in DJ. It'll come up with a blue background with looks like a soap bubble, and just click it, and it's this AI voice that acts like a radio DJ, and it's like, all right, we're gonna listen to some songs you haven't heard in a while. Here's Queen with Another One Bites the Dust, and then it'll just launch into the song. So it's kind of interesting. It's a different way of how they do their radio playlists.
That's
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
All right, I
So-
look forward to this. This is my favorite part. I'm looking forward to this. Spotlight. Go, John.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Couch Co-op Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our discussion on today's topics. And as always, we'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on AI in video games? What games have you been playing lately? Let us know in the comments or on social media, where you can find us on Instagram. We even have a Gmail account and Facebook. Ian, Facebook? Do
So
we do
we're
Facebook?
Couch Co-op Shows, all one word, no hyphen, or the Couch Co-op Show at gmail.com.
And
And
don't
I'm the
forget-
DJ on Spotify, and you can find the Couch Co-op Show on there. Yeah, coming at
Well,
you.
Wait, I have
Spotify.
one more thing. I have one more stupid thing. And this
Sorry,
this
I'm
is
gonna
going to
go
be
kill
the same
myself.
thing too. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry to break into this as a anti-host here. So I started doing these polls. I did it. I'm gonna do this with every Lord Beerstro's battle. So like
Oh,
the
good.
last, so if it, on Spotify, on the Spotify app, if you go to the episode, there will be a poll, and you get to pick which beer should have won. Currently, last week's episode, Voodoo Ranger is winning by 1 vote. So then
That
this
means
week
we have 1 vote.
Oh, great. We had 1 vote.
we had 1 vote
Awesome.
on that poll. And so this week I'll upload this episode. It'll be Voodoo Ranger and Waldo, and then so you on the app you can go in and you can actually vote which beer you think should have won. So, it's a way to interact with the crew.
Yeah, that's cool.
No one's gonna do it, but well, one person will. But anyway, go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Until next time, keep gaming, stay safe, and be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
DJ
music.
Spotify coming at you. Yeah.